Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is November 20th, 2020, and this is episode 132. Today we're taking a look at Offworld. This is a two-story, comic, sci-fi double feature, if you will, put out by Antarctic Press, their 35th year of publication, and its first story is called Hazel, with Colin Fogel doing the art and writing on it. And you flip it over for the second story is Interstellar Dust by C.J. Hudson and Igor Wolski. Okay, so first off, I just want to say that this issue is actually a little bit better than last. I have been recommending this series. I have been enjoying it. My big complaint about it has been the two stories the last two issues had seemed very short. Like I wasn't getting my money's worth, and it wasn't getting the story progressed far enough. It just seemed like they cut off suddenly, like you were getting half a chapter only. This time around, they seem to have done a better job, both stories. It got me a little bit further along and a little more development going on. Let's start off with Hazel here. First of all, this is a really nice little drawing here. It's depicting her kind of protecting the kids from the orphanage while holding a bunch of hand grenades that she's willing to use at any moment. And this scene does not occur in the book at all, but just a nice little picture. This is chapter 5. As you can see, Colin Fogel did the pencils, colors, letters, and the writing on it. And it's the Deep Block Terror Squad is what Hazel is part of. It's a group of women, young women that have banded together, and they go underneath this dystopian, futuristic city, underneath usually, to take on some of the gangs and criminal element that is down there, illegal miners and such, all kind of proclivities that are taking place. But recently she got kicked off her squad for being kind of a glory hog and kind of leaving the others behind, not doing what she should be doing. And it resulted in her orphanage where she grew up being raided by a gang that is after a detonator. So you can kind of see the art in here is really, really, really nice. I've enjoyed the art in all these. It's kind of an anime style. Here she's coming back to the police department to beg for forgiveness. Over here we get a little bit of her growing up, kind of flashback, intertwined with the story here, and she's kind of gritting her teeth before she goes in to ask for forgiveness. And at first they don't really want to take her back, but then they said, I want to be part of the team, and I'm really going to help out this time and not just be left to my own devices to do whatever I want. So they agree to take her back, and part of it is they're going to use her as a decoy to try to help get some of the kidnapped kids back, or at least one of them. So here we go. This nice drawing. She's kind of descending into the depths below. It almost looks like a deep sea diver type outfit on, and her group, the rest of her squad is kind of backing her up at this point. And she has this detonator they want to use. I guess it can be remotely detonated. So it's a very, from halfway around the world. So it's kind of something that the gangs underneath her find very valuable. We come across one of her adversaries that she met up in one of the other issues here, which she was able to take down basically with a number of grenades and such, and he's being kind of put together. You see all these lines here, but he kind of snaps to assembly here, and he's asking for the detonators, of course. In the meantime, Hazel's group is sneaking up behind, and what we get here is just kind of a back and forth, a discussion. The story is only probably, I want to say like 12 to 16 pages long. It's not super long, but we get some nice, art in the meantime. And it ends with then than die for this chapter. So this chapter kind of it gets to a spot where there's a big conflict. Now the other story I actually like better, even though the Hazel I think is the one that they're really pushing. This story I've been enjoying a lot more. It's an Interstellar Dust, and it's about a prison that's a spaceship, and it's recently lost its power. It's got a hull breach. The guards and personnel that man the prison have all retreated to the bridge. Some of the guards didn't make it, and they're getting knocked off. The prisoners are just going crazy, and we're basically watching a group of three. It's two young men. Here's one here and one here, and then a woman who looks part alien. She's got like a special tail. She's also very sexy, but you know, a pretty good story. So they kind of band together, end up meeting up and banding together. Here we got her here, and this tail has special qualities. It can be used like a rope. It can used like a pole. It can be used like a punching device, like a staff, just whatever she needs it to use it for. And she's also very sexy on top of that. If you recall, she is in the very, very first issue. She's in there. This is issue 5 now. And she was a sex worker in a special area that got raided, and she was put in this prison for it. So we got her helping out the two guys who are kind of bumbling. One's kind of more weakling, the other one's more of an adventurous type. And they are able to escape, and they meet up with the doctor and another person, I think it's another guard, and they make their way to the bridge. They're able to get in. In the meantime, there's some other stuff going on. There's this guy here is trying to lead the revolt of the prisoners and take over the ship. They're going to head for the bridge shortly as well. But it doesn't happen in this issue. It's coming up later. So as you can see, here we got them requesting admission into the bridge. And finally, they let them in. So, and we get some other looks at some other books that are coming out at Antarctic Press, Walmart. This almost looks like some kind of young Donald Trump, but I'm not sure if that's what it's supposed to be. The Tremendous Trump, The Trade Wars, Pirate Ninjas, Gold Digger, Punchline, not the one from Batman. This is one that came out previously before Batman. They're actually on issue 2 of 3, or maybe simultaneously in Hot Valley Days. Now here's the one thing that I've really been struggling with Antarctic Press doing on here is to me, your best spot in this book is the centerfold. And they've been doing this the 5 issues, and I think this is just a waste of real estate. They could put some nice poster in here, and I wish they would, but they do the same thing every time. This is it, Offworld upside down twice, and just a waste of space. Antarctica, put a poster in there. We'd love it. Something to hang on the wall. So, Interstellar Dust, Hazel, it is a recommend. I'll stay on this through the end. I don't know how many more issues there are to go, but I'm assuming maybe 10 to 12. I appreciate you stopping by, and I got 2 new subscribers this week, so things are humming along. So thank you very much for subscribing. Please subscribe if you like these reviews. Please leave comments. Please like. If you dislike, please leave a comment and let me know why, because I only want to get better. And this is Indie Comics Jones from the Temple of Tomes, bidding you adieu.